It's a little bit exciting because there might just be a window here, ladies and gentlemen. A window of time. Let's lock in. Let's drop in. Let's all take a breath. Let's breathe in right now. Fill it all the way to the top. Hold it. Hold it. Let that bad boy go. We might be in for a podcast here, ladies and gentlemen. There's an aliveness within my being. I had a realization last night that the phone has been distracting me too much, particularly Instagram. And so I want to set an intention when I'm on it. And so I did. And my intention now is to open it 3 times a day. That's one of the intentions. So I find myself just opening it and then all of a sudden I'm scrolling and away I go and I'm really just losing this moment. And it's the design of it. So it's nothing to get ashamed of. It's nothing to degrade yourself with. It's more just to become aware of it and then set up some healthy boundaries. Decide how you want to live this life. This is how I experience it. And I've made the decision. I want to be here. I want to be here with my girls. I want to be here in this physical experience. I'll be outside as much as I can in nature. And I don't want to be scrolling. I don't want to have just this effortless consumption taking place. I want to choose the thoughts. I want to choose my direction in life. I want to choose everything. And I don't want it to be chosen for me. And, even if we're just scrolling on social media, subconsciously there's an information attachment. There's like getting inspired subconsciously by other people. And then all of a sudden you're no longer being a full expression of yourself, your true self. You're just idolizing and utilizing the information that you see, and you're just becoming like a sheep. This is how I perceive this experience anyways. It's happening on a subconscious level. Like, we're not aware of this, but consuming all this content affects your energy, and it's just not nice, eh? Just doesn't feel nice for me. It doesn't feel good. It's a double-edged sword. Like, there's the positives and the negatives. There's the polarity in Instagram because it's so freaking awesome to connect with people all over the world. Like, there's a few people in my life that, I haven't actually met in the physical experience yet, but I've connected with them on social media and become really good friends with them. And it's a resonant effect. Like, it's that magnetic effect that when you put yourself out there, there's others that are like you, that you're resonating with, that you attract and you bring in and you create your tribe. It creates itself as you create yourself, as you remember who you are, as you peel back the layers. But it's impossible to peel back those layers if you're continually consuming. If you're continually mindlessly scrolling on your phone, how can you possibly peel back the layers of the illusion and to discover who you truly are, who you came here to be, the God within you? How could you truly discover that when you're constantly consuming? It's impossible. And this is what I'm discovering, is like how much my mind wants to be fed. How many moments does it want to fill up the space, the silence, and consume and just put on something, information, podcast, audiobook, a voice message, a reel, just scrolling. It's just so continuous. And my soul is screaming at me like, bro, we're all good here. How could you possibly coach presence if you're continually consuming content? And that's real. That's real. It's a complete decision for you. Like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And then choosing that, and then setting up boundaries around the things that take you out. So social media and Instagram in particular is a big one for me. So it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's like asserting your boundaries and saying, okay, I want to have intention. I want to bring intention into this. I'm going to open it 3 times a day. Sorry. And what I'm going to be doing when I'm on there, well, I want to create. I don't want to just consume. I enjoy consuming. However, the consumption is purely a thoughtless activity. It's driven on ego. It's driven on unconscious habits. Because why do I want to consume? It's good just to chill out and relax and stuff, and just open a reel, and you might get inspired. Yeah, you might. But how often does that inspiration take you to a place of action? How often do you activate yourself within that scrolling? And more often than not, 99% of the time, you end up just self-sabotaging through consuming, because you start to put yourself in a category of like, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. Oh, I really should do this. That person's really cool on their Instagram. I'm going to start doing things like that. Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not good enough. You start comparing subconsciously. And it's a drain of your energy, because fuck, we are all just energy. And you're putting yourself in that experience of just being taken on a ride, But there's a flip side of this. There's a flip side of bringing intention into your social media. This is what I want to get down on. This is my dance in this lifetime. Like, I think it's actually a blessing, like, that this is our thing, Like, it could be a world war. Imagine that. That would be a lot more horrific than Instagram, for sure. But this is our thing, right? 2024. This is what pulls us out of the present moment. So it's just space, man. It's literally just bringing that space back. And I had a beautiful experience the other day. I was on a lunch break at work. I didn't bring any food in the morning. I forgot to. It was on a Thursday. And, when it happens in that moment, you're like, fuck, I wish I brought some food in for lunch. However, it then turns out to be a massive blessing, because it forces me into the thoughts of like, actually, I know I'm going to go to dinner that night. We're going to go to the Seven Sins German restaurant. Beautiful food out in Rolling Stone. And so, like, I don't have to have lunch, because I know I'm going to have a banquet later on. And then that half an hour is freed. And I was like, well, I want to go outside. Because inside, even when you're eating, sometimes you're just sitting down. If you're on that phone, you're not conscious, you're not present with what you're doing. You're eating food, you don't even realize you're eating food. You finished it. And this time I was like, no, I'm going to go outside. I sit down under a tree and literally closing my eyes. And this was my mantra. It was breathe in the good, breathe out the bad. Breathe in the good, breathe out the bad. And like literally within 10 minutes, just this incredible rush of gratitude, this euphoric feeling just took over me. And a ringing in my ears, just this present stillness, this elusive undercurrent that is always here, but we're just constantly trying to fucking fill this up with something. We're trying to fill this up, but it's perfect already. It's more than perfect. It's fucking divine, this life, right? And the stillness underneath it all is absolutely perfect. And here I am, trying to put on a podcast to learn something, Trying to escape the moment is literally all it is. You know, there is beauty in information. However, I am already informed, and so are you. And all the answers are already within you now. And how are you going to find the answers? By constantly filling your mind with more information. Because that's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm doing anyways. And I know when I'm doing it, I know why I'm doing it. The mind. So for me, the more I become aware of the thoughts, the more I become aware of my natural way of being. And when it's disrupted through lack of sleep, through sugar in my diet, whether there's some sort of disruption, especially reaching for the phone first thing in the morning too, because how you start your day is how the day's going to go. If I find that I'm drawn into social media early in the morning, I'm more likely to be scrolling, and the mind is going to want to be fed. And there's not enough information to relieve the mind of this hunger. It's chasing the dragon, you know. It's modern day meth, the consumption that we have here, and our phones, our smartphones, are making us dumber. And no different to caffeine. Like, there's so many different things that take us out, you know, that we crave, that are addictive. But we can be the ones that decide where to go. And we can choose with intention. And I honestly feel like setting an intention must be done on a regular basis. Because how often do we set an intention and then, you know, a couple of weeks down the track, we're still doing those things that we said that we weren't going to do anymore. With that being said, this is my message for you. This is my short little spiel of where I'm at. I love you. And have yourself a beautiful now. Much love. Bye-bye.